What's up, guys? We are Sight After Dark out of Brooklyn, New York. I'm Sifa Graffiti.
I'm Dan Berg.
Today we are reacting to Way Too Helpful by the Loud family, and this was suggested by our patron, Matthew Weber. Shout out to you, Matthew. And guys, you can head on over to our Patreon and subscribe for as little as $1 a month to get in on our content and content decisions. Thumbs up if you like.
That was interesting, because, like, it was like, it says 1998. I would have known it was 90s even if it didn't say that. Because this was some, like, solid 90s alt-rock, but with a twist, right? And this is what I think the twist is. So, like, I feel like a lot of 90s rock, it would be, like an indie rock bass, but, like, metal and, like, punk on top of it. Because it's, like, kind of rough around the edges, you know what I mean? Whereas this was very soft around the edges. This is, I feel like it's, instead of indie pop, like indie rock and metal, it's like indie rock and like folk. You know what I mean? So like it seems like just like a nicer version of 90s rock. You know what I mean? It's just smoother, which I think a lot of it has to do with the tone of his voice. It's not, you know, like a gruff, like rocky voice, like, you know what I mean? So that gives it a whole different feel to it. Even regardless of what the instruments were doing. You know what I mean? So I thought that was really interesting how they kind of toyed with my expectations of 90s rock a little bit.
Yeah, I loved it because, like, I mean, it's the 90s, you know, so it's a school time for me, and, like, this is definitely, like, a soundtrack-ish, you know, to, like, young school days. So, reminds me of that. I found this to be, like, tasty, you know, in a way, like, you know, it started off and, like, the guitar chords just kept calling you towards them, you know, as the song got a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. Where you thought the chord progression was going to go, it did not go. It turned and twisted a little bit, and I thought that was great. It was so enticing, the song. And, like, the vocalist and the music were, like, symbiotic. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he wasn't... Yeah, it was really, really... tasty, you know. It had like a bit of like, it's not necessarily sensual, you know, or like it doesn't have anything sexy to do with it, but you feel like you're being entranced, or you feel kind of like you're being pulled into some kind of wave or vibe of something. And I thought that was cool about it, you know. It's
like you're busy, right? And you're walking and you pass the beach and you're just like, I got things to do, but I'm gonna go to the beach. Yeah,
it's just like, oh, you got to come here.
It's like, oh, just hang out with us. Yeah, we'll have a good time.
Yeah. This is almost, it's like that. So many ways to like parallel and describe it, but it just had a feeling of like a fruit. Like somebody once told me, fruit wants you to eat it. Don't you see how it's shaped and how it's colored? Like how it's just looking at you?
They're actually not screaming inside when you bite into them.
They're like, yes, eat me.
I always wondered like if food wanted to be eaten.
Fruits do, apparently. That's why they look like that.
Well, that's good. So fuck vegetables. That was the Loud family. Way too helpful. We don't know anything about the Loud family.
I don't.
So tell us about them. Shout out to Matthew Weber for suggesting this. We appreciate you. We appreciate everybody on Patreon. Your support is helping to make all of this happen. Shout out to everybody watching on YouTube or Side After Dark. Listen to our music if you haven't already. And we'll see you soon.